Tacticool versus real world tactics that will save your life. Hello everybody, I'm Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness, and we're going to talk about some things that I've seen in the Tacticool world that I think is just dumb. The first one I'm going to talk about is switching shoulders for going around different corners, depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed. So if I'm right-handed and going around a right-hand corner, obviously I can just go around the corner like this. Well, I don't want to go around the corner like this and have all this of my body exposed left-handed. Sometimes I am okay doing this. So, switching shoulders. Here's what I have seen. And normal sling use like this doesn't even work for this maneuver. It has to be up around your neck, or it has to be a single point type sling. What I've seen in the Tacticool world is, and I will try to do it quickly, but I have no experience doing this. Actually, I'll step through it first. They remove their hand from the firing controls. They bring it up here. Then they move their other hand back, and then they flip the gun over their stuff to this side so they can go around like this and present a smaller target. Okay, now let me try to do it quickly. This is dumb. All right. Okay, actually, I could do it pretty quickly with not much training, but I like my sling properly on. Let me show you a much quicker, much more effective way to switch shoulders that makes a lot more sense. Same hand stays on the same firing controls, same hand stays in your support hand. Okay, if I'm like this and I want to go corners, so let me do this. Switching shoulders. There you go. Much quicker, much more effective. Into switching back, I'm back. What makes more sense to you? The fumble all around, switching hands and making things overly complicated? Or just switching shoulders? Yes, this may provide a little more visual imprint, as in my support arm is outside of the weapon. Really? Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is reloading. Okay, the Tacticool way, and I don't even know if I can do it the way my sling is set up like this. I guess I kind of can. Tacticool way. Whoa, whoa, you know? And I can't, unfortunately, on this platform show a magazine being inserted into a firearm, because that violates the rules, and then we'll get shut down, and then I won't do any good teaching you guys or reaching people and empowering you guys. So I'm not actually going to show it. But they come up like that. Ooh, yeah, I look all cool. And then they swap the mag out right here. Okay. There are things that make sense about that, because where I'm reloading is right here in my field of view. I have my peripherals up that give me view of the situation. But what is happening here? A lot of my rifle, this whole section of my rifle here, from here all the way to here, is inhibiting and blocking part of my vision. And from here up, all that is making me a more visible target. Making me a taller, more visible signature on the battlefield. Do I want that when I can just go like this to swap mags? Right there. The gun is still in play. I can still shoot if I need to. And then I can do my mag swap right here using my peripheral vision. And maybe for a split second I gotta look down in the mag well to make sure that I'm properly inserting the magazine. But come on, guys. Taking my eyes off the battlefield for that split second? Maybe? Eh. And then I'm back in the fight. And then I also don't have to come all the way down here. You know, it's right here. All I do is come right up and I'm back in the fight. So that's my way. And I'm saying these are my ways of doing things. I'm not saying they are the end all be all. I'm not saying you have to do them this way. I'm saying this is what I prefer and what I've found to work more effectively. So let's get into the next thing. But wait, first we gotta talk about making holes and plugging holes. And I gotta put my plug in for phenomenal company, Jace Medical. Their antibiotics, their prescription medications, their Jace cases. Oh, by the way, have free ivermectin for the month of April. Check it out. Links in the description below. Coupon code asymmetrical10. Save yourself some money on a must-have antibiotics. As preppers, as Minutemen, as whatever you are watching this channel, you gotta have them. It is vital. So go out and get you some. Another thing I've seen is people like to run around like this, muzzle up, because that's what they saw in some SEAL team movie. Okay, there are pluses and minuses. Let's talk about that. Muzzle up versus muzzle down. Why would you want to do it? When would you want to do it? Pluses and minuses of both. And there is a time and a place for both. If you're trained well enough, train both ways, because there is pluses and minuses. Muzzle down. Well, if you're in a training environment and you got people up on the berm or on the catwalk, you're not going to shoot them if you have negligent discharge. Down is safer in some sense situations, because if you have a negligent discharge, more than likely it's going to go to the ground. It's not going to go up and land in a neighborhood somewhere and kill some kid playing on the swings. All right. Positive, or another negative on muzzle down. If you're in a stack, you can get your muzzle kind of outside the next guy, but in a stack, if you are up like this, you can get a lot closer together in a stack with your muzzle up. So that may not allow you to stack as tightly, but hey, come on, that's, you know, whatever. First, let me start with a positive for muzzle up. Muzzle up. If you're muzzle up, time on target is a lot faster. Muzzle up because gravity works. Gravity brings your rifle down with you, making muzzle up to target faster than muzzle down to target. But the positive of muzzle down is if you're firing, especially if you're select fire, if you're firing full auto, and you can start down here and ride the muzzle up and ride it up your target. As it's coming up, you're hitting your target, hitting your target, hitting your target, hitting your target. Even if you're doing semi-auto, you can still do that. You can start firing low and ride it up as you're firing semi-auto. So you can start putting rounds on the target as soon as possible, so that maybe you're distracting them, maybe you're hitting them in the feet, the legs, the groin. You're still taking them out of the fight. You are reducing their ability and their capability of engaging you effectively. So that's a positive of muzzle down, is riding the gun up. I already talked about two positives of muzzle up. Tighter stack, quicker on target. There's a lot of positives and negatives. And my brain doesn't always function well from the TBIs I received during my service. So I'm not recalling some of the other things. I apologize. There are more positives and negatives. It's one of those things, it's a personal choice. And if you have a group of people that you're going to be working with, that you train with, you kind of need to establish this as part of your SOPs. In different situations though, situationally dependent. In this situation we do this, in this situation we do that. Standard is muzzle down, or standard is muzzle up. There's no actual right or wrong answer, as with most things. It's just personal preference. Another one I've seen is the support hand placement. Where do you put it? I've seen a lot of the Tacticool, they love that straight out forward C-clamp, you know, like this. All the way out there, all the way out there. Now, there are positives for that. The positive of why you want to do a C-clamp and get it out there further than, say, like your magwell, is this. Target transitioning. Transitioning, I'm going to act like there's a target over there, and I'm going to act like there's a target over there. Now watch my muzzle when I do it. I got to picture exact targets. Okay, so watch my muzzle. All right, see that little bobble at the end? That was me reacquiring it. That's because between my support hand and the end of the rifle, there's a lot of leverage. There's a lot of weight out there, and it typically can cause you to overshoot and then have to come back. But with your C-clamp hand out here, it controls that weight and that lever point out there for much faster target acquisition. The thing is when you are full out there C-clamp like that, see what my arm is? No support for my vital organs in here. So what do? I do C-clamp, kind of a modified C-clamp. I mean, instead of my grip being all the way up there, my grip's kind of down there a little bit. And then instead of my arm being out like that, my arm's dropped down a little bit. So I'm still C-clamping it. I'm still getting the benefits of that. But see, my arm is protecting my vitals a little bit more than if it was up, you know, like up here. You can see how much more my vitals are protected. To me, that's kind of important. I get it. I may not be able to acquire the second target as precisely as if I had my hand out there all the way, but it's just my take on things. You can do it whatever way you want to do it. The point is here, no matter what way you choose, train, 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 practice, 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 and get good at whatever way you choose. Make it your own. Own it. I'm owning this. This is the way I do things. This is the way a lot of people in my group do things. And we have a lot of real world experience that led us down the path of doing things in this manner. So make your choice, but that's mine. So another thing I've noticed also kind of in the tactical world sometimes is single point slings. Single point slings allow for great versatility in switching shoulders, in moving your firearm around a lot, but they don't do much for retaining your firearm. I like a simple 2-point sling because I can have really good control over this weapon system out front and out back. Out back, and the way I do it is hooked into my buttstock around here. Why? Why not over the end? Because I don't want my buckles and everything getting in the way of my shoulder weld there. And when I bring it up, it's perfect there. And then also, when I switch it over, it's perfect there. It doesn't get in the way. I like it up front because sometimes you can sit here and wrap your sling around like that and get a much more stable firing position for when you are shooting offhand, meaning standing up at a greater distance, or need that next level of accuracy. Single point sling will not do that for you. Another thing, single point slings is this 2-point. I can bring up there and keep my rifle nice and tight to me. It won't bounce around, it won't shift, it stays right on me. A single point sling, man, I hope you were in a cup when you have a single point sling, because you're gonna get hit down there all the time. And it slings and flops all over the place. There's no real way to retain it. And there's other little bungee cords and little clips that you can clip on in addition to hold it on. There's also 3-point slings. I don't like 3-point slings at all, but I just like a simple 2-point sling. Keep it simple, stupid. That's my methodology. Another thing I want to talk about really quick is gear. This plate carrier is a Condor Elite LCS Vanquish plate carrier. I absolutely love it. Condor gear is the real deal. They make a lot of really good stuff for budget-minded people. And I wouldn't mind wearing this full-time professionally either. I would have no problem with it. Check them out. Links in the description below. Coupon code AP15. Good stuff. Great gear. Go and get yourself some. Talking about gear, I get questions about having mag pouches up here above my mags. Do I have a problem getting to my mags? No, I don't, because I train all the time with it. Reach down there, grab my mag. Putting it back is a little more difficult, but I don't do that under stress. That goes in my dump pouch. Reaching this mag, you know, if I need to reach this mag. There you go. Reaching this mag, no problems. This one again, it's in the middle. There you go. No problem reaching my mags. What is one good thing about having something up here high on your plate carrier? Spall protection. Now, these are polyceramic plates, so there probably won't be spall. What is spall? First off, let's start with that. Spall is when say this is a plate of steel. A bullet hits a plate of steel, it breaks apart, right? Those little pieces, the fragments, go up, down, and around. Well, you don't want to be hit with a round right there, have spall go up through your neck into your brain and kill you. So these plates don't really spall that much anyway, but having additional stuff up here may block any kind of spall, any kind of fragmentation from going up into your neck. And I need the space. Here I have pepper spray. This is one of my non-lethal options. Pepper spray, multi-tool, Glock mag. So I like it. You don't have to run stuff there if you don't want to. If you find that it interferes with your magazines down here, then don't run it there. That's why I run my stuff here. And a thing of note, if all the people that keep on commenting about my optic being bridged, look, my optic isn't bridged anymore. God, I got sick of tired of answering those questions. This rail has positive locking tabs on both sides that are anti-rotation tabs. This rail cannot rotate, so you can bridge the optics. But when people were commenting about that, I thought about it. And I'm like, you know, if I do bring it back a little bit, it'll bring the center of gravity of the rifle rearward more, which will keep the center of gravity more centered over the center of the rifle, which will make it quicker acquisitioning targets. So I did bring it back a little bit, 1 notch or 2 notches. I moved my red dot forward, you know, about ½ an inch also to get that proper eye relief. I thought about mounting it up here. I just like it here. I want that center of gravity thing going on. And the way I have my stock, I check my eye relief. My eye relief is still fine, even with my plate carrier, because that's the way I have it set up. I have it set up to use my plate carrier because I'm more than likely going to be using a plate carrier. So remember that when you're running your butt stock or adjusting your butt stock, if you are not running a plate carrier, if you're running a chest rig or nothing, you may have it extended further. But when you put your plate carrier on, check it. Make sure your eye relief still works. You may need to bring it in a notch to have proper eye relief on your optics. So that's important. Your stuff has to function properly. All right, so that's another thing I've noticed. And another thing that I have done. Another thing of note is I have 2 companies sending me their tack lights. So maybe pretty soon I won't have my Walmart mag light in scope rings anymore that people give me a hard time about all the time. That works just fine and has for 20+ years. But anyway, so I'm gonna be checking out some cool tack lights. One of them is this weird dual beam thing, dual head flashlight thing, and another one has a pressure pad and stuff like that. Don't know how they're gonna be, but I'm gonna test them out and give you guys the real dirt. And an exciting new thing coming up. I have to keep it top secret from the company until the release date. But there's a new microdot, red dot, about to hit the market soon from a company you guys know about that has never made an optic before. So I'm gonna be getting one of those soon from the company, and then I will be putting it on this and running it through a full battery of tests, hardcore training. I want to really put it through the ringer, and we'll see if it stands up. So I can tell you whether it gets a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because you know me, I'm honest. I'll tell you the brass facts. But I hope you guys know I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.